Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I am doing my January favorites, which will be my first favorites for the new year. Yay. In January was the last month of school for my exchange year here in Japan, which is really sad. Like, I'm glad I'm done with school, but it's sad to think that my exchange year is soon over. My next favorite for February, I will be filming at home because I'm going home in February. And it's just really sad. So this is my last favorite that I'm filming here. Again, sad and weird to think about. Life goes forward and that's just how it is. But yeah, in January I just mostly did school. I watched a lot of things and read books. I didn't do anything special because I am apparently generally just a very boring person, which is fine. Looking at the things I watched in January, and if I was going to choose a favorite, it would definitely be A Series of Unfortunate Events. The series, I read the books when I was a kid and I did really enjoy it, even though yes, it does become of course a bit repetitive after a while and you don't really get specific answers that you want, but the series delivers answers and the closure, I think, in such a well written way. And like, I think they took everything from the books in the series and turned it into something even better, and I just really enjoyed the series. In the beginning, when I started to watch it, it was like, okay, I enjoy it, it's funny, it's super weird but it's funny, it's really like the books. But then it just came into its own. It just took, as I said, everything from the series and explored on it and made it better. And in the end I was feeling for the villain and I just felt really bad for him, and it just turned in that Count Olaf, of course evil and done horrible things, but it made me feel compassionate towards him. Very well done. If you don't know, A Series of Unfortunate Events follows Violet, Klaus and Sunny, who loses their parents in this fire and they are being adopted or gets a new guardian, the first one being Count Olaf. But it turns out he's just after their fortune and basically, well, wants to kill them or do horrible things to them just so he can get their fortune when Violet comes of age. And then after Count Olaf is exposed what he really is, they switch guardian over and over because he always comes after them, and it is this whole chase thing. And there's like this underlining other plot as well, but I always felt, as I said when I read the books, that this wasn't explored well enough. I didn't really get the whole secret organization and everything, and in the series it was just shown in a completely different way, and I was just so impressed by it. As I said, I was enjoying it a lot in the beginning, but by the end I was like in tears because it just really got to me and it was just done so well. It's one of the best book adaptations I have ever seen, and I am just really happy I finally finished it. So I recommend it a lot. It is just done so well, true to its source material, but it also just makes it better. I also watched Sex Education Season 2 this month, or last month, and I loved it to death. I love Sex Education. It basically follows Otis, whose mom is this sex therapist slash expert, and then he starts this kind of sex clinic at school because kids has questions about sex, and he kind of do it for money and helps them. We get all these different questions teens have about sex, not just how to do it or the different kind of preferences you might have, but also of course like LGBTQ representation and just like loads of different preferences and things about sex. And it was just, it's done so well, it's done so thoughtfully, but also with humor and heart, and I absolutely loved the first season, and I think the second season just took all the elements and did it even better. A surprising turns took its way, and I enjoyed it so much. My least favorite thing about the show is that Maeve and Otis have this thing, and then like they are trying to make it, I don't know why they're doing it, but they are really doing it so that they are not being able to be together. I don't even know if they should be together anymore, considering everything they've been through. I sort of want them to be with other people, because I think they come at a point they don't need to be together anymore. I never really shipped them, but the point is that if they were going to be together, I just think like the writers are dragging it out a bit too long, because I don't know, like the series has so much impact. It's a series called Sex Education, about sex education, but it's done in this funny, relatable way, but also carrying so many serious themes. But they're also like making a lesser impact because they're focusing on this weird Maeve Otis romance that either they could just be together and be a happy, good example of a couple, or they're just like, they should let it go. But yeah, the end were kind of annoying. Like the 5 last minutes of the second season was unnecessary, and it's like my least favorite aspect of the show, but I still enjoy it. It's one of my faves. I think it's so important, and as I said, just sex is like this taboo theme where we're too scared to talk about it, and here they're just not scared at all. They're just talking about everything, and I love it. It's so funny and relatable and very good show. Moving on to other things I want to talk about in this video, because I didn't really do anything except watching and reading, since yeah, I'm a boring and didn't play anything. Okay, the first book I want to talk about here, which is amazing, is Jade City by Fonda Lee. This one follows this family called the Cowles. I can't pronounce things. They control one part of the capital on Kakon, which is this island, and on this island they have this thing called Jade, which is a stone that gives certain people powers. They are in control of that, and there's this other clan that also has control, and they're the 2 main clans, even though it does exist other small ones. And like they are not at war right now, they are at peace, and they have been for a while. And then things and skirmishes starts to happen, and it's really about the control of Jade, the control of the city, and respect and family and honor. And like the main family, the Cowles that we are following, I just love them all to death. They are so complex, well written, chaotic character. Their energy and their family is like this chaotic family, and I love them to death. They were everything. Like Justine, my friend, has been screaming at me to read this for ages, and when I picked it up I didn't expect to love it to death, but it was like everything. It was exciting, and it was written so well. Like the character was just so alive, and this world that Fonda Lee has created was so original and cool. There's like loads of different aspects in the book, like what kind of relationship they have with other foreign countries, and just like politics and lots of different things, and all the elements was just balanced so well. I was just so impressed by everything, and I can't wait to continue the series, so I recommend this so much. Like just thinking about it makes me emotional. Then I would love to talk about The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This is the sequel to The Poppy War, which I read last year, and The Poppy War follow Rin, who is a girl. Like it's also an Asian inspired fantasy, and she does everything to come into this really high, like the best school in her country, which is a military school. And then they go to war, which was like not something they would have expected, because they had been in peace for such a long time, and it's basically about wartime. It's like a lot following Rin's background, like to the war, and then like everything explodes. And I think it's very important that we got to follow Rin from the start to get to know her and care for her as much as we do. But when reading The Poppy War, because we use such a long time, like I would say in peacetime and just following Rin, second part of the book when the war starts and stuff, it's very much felt like 2 different books. I expected to love The Poppy War, but I didn't. I like felt totally okay with it. But oh my god, The Dragon Republic, I loved. It was like everything I wanted The Poppy War to be. It was amazing. I think like when the grounds from The Poppy War was made and I wanted The Dragon Republic, and then I was used to everything in a different way, it was just great. It's very bloody and gruesome, and of course like not a happy book by any means, but I was just gripped by the story in a way I was not by the first book, and now I just appreciate the first book so much more, and I just recommend these books so much. Now I'm on the hype train so intensely. Like I enjoyed the first book, but I absolutely loved the second book, and this is why I never ever stop reading a series, even though I can be a bit neutral about the first book. Like the rest of the series can also be like so well. There's like no second book syndrome in here at all. Like it's totally its own story. It just takes everything from the first book to new heights. And I was just shocked by so many things. It was just so good, and I cannot wait for the third book later this year. And I think that was like all the books I want to talk about, like my absolute faves for January, even though I read a lot. A lot of them were very good, but you will see my thoughts on everyone in my wrap up. Since I didn't do anything else in January, there's like not much more to talk about, which feels strange because, again, as I said, this is the last favorite video I will film in Japan, so I kind of feel like I'm saying goodbye, which is not like a thing at all, but it just feels like a chapter closing, I guess. I'm getting like nostalgic for no reason at all right now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, as me per usual, just talking about things I enjoyed. A lot of fun to be had. We'll see me soon in a new video. Goodbye!